All right, guys, we're going to do this topic on Monday. Didn't have time. I thought we could have a little fun with it today. And it's funny, we started today's show arguing over quarterbacks from the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s, and now. Fox put out a quarterback trade value list. And we're going to show you the whole thing. We're going to start with the Browns related. Then we'll talk about the other guys because I actually don't disagree with the Browns side of it, but I disagree with a lot of other parts of this. So here's Fox Sports' QB tiers by trade value. On the untouchable list, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Drake May, Lamar, Jordan Love. The Godfather offer list, Herbert, Caleb Williams, Dak, Jaden Daniels, Purdy, and Trevor Lawrence. The mega blockbuster, Bo Nix, Cam Ward, Fernando Mendoza.
You're going too fast. You're going too fast.
Sam Darnold.
Mega blockbuster. Go ahead and mega blockbuster. Go ahead.
Bo Nix, Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Fernando Mendoza, Sam Darnold, Jalen Hurts, and Jared Goff. The regular blockbuster, Stafford, Baker, Jackson Dart, and C.J. Stroud. The first round value, Bryce Young, Tyler Shuck, who I can finally pronounce his name without having to double take. And day 3 value, Daniel Jones, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, Jacoby Brissett, Shedeur Sanders, Will Howard, Justin Fields, and Tua Tagovailoa. G. Bull, shut up.
Tag.
G. Bull,
Shout out to Tua Tag.
We'll get to Bull being a hater at the end of the show, I promise. G, real quick, before we dive into some of the others. Is there any case that Shedeur should be at a different tier than the day 3 value? Or is he correctly placed by Fox Sports here?
He's on the right level. I mean, this is actually very easy. I mean, he doesn't have enough of a sample size to be higher than that. I mean, look at it. Some of the Daniel Jones, he's there because he's injury prone. Penix is there because he'd be injured. J.J. McCarthy hasn't really done anything. You take a look at who else is down there?
That's Brissett, Will Howard, Justin Fields.
They just gave
Tua.
up and threw everybody else in the final box.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how Will Howard has a day 3 value. He ain't
exactly
even played, bro.
He hadn't even.
Well, because they were just putting all 32
That's what I'm saying.
quarterbacks.
Yeah,
They just gave up.
They should have done one more column.
Aaron Rodgers is expected to
Yeah,
be
it should
the
have been
actual
Aaron
quarterback,
Rodgers
but
on there. I don't know why they did Will Howard.
And Malik Willis isn't on here because he's technically a backup. This was before free agency started. This was the 32 starting quarterbacks, hence Tua and not Malik Willis, for what it's worth.
Now, I'm looking at it from a perspective, like I'm looking at it, and if you just ask me, like he's appropriately slotted day 3 value. I don't think many people will argue with that, like based on just the sample size and what it is, the body of work at this point is, you can't put him no higher than that. But if you look at it, the thing I got crazy about, I'm like, how is Mendoza on the mega blockbuster? What are we doing? Like, how is that mega blockbuster? Like,
because
he's going to be the number
That's
one.
Why. Yeah.
I mean,
guess.
Cam Ward is up there too.
I mean, I wouldn't. If you looked at it and you said, I think Cam Ward is really, 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 really good as far as his like skill set. He just needs to mature. I could see where somebody would say,
Right, but somebody could say the same thing about, like, there's probably as many people like Fernando Mendoza as Cam Ward.
If you're going to trade for the number 1 pick, it's going to be a block. I don't think they should be in mega blockbuster.
Yeah.
But if a team's going to move up this year, theoretically, say the Raiders don't love them and you're going to trade up for the number 1 pick, that would be a blockbuster trade.
I just have a hard time saying, like, for me, I'm looking at it like, how the heck is Matt Stafford
I think they put him there
no
'cause he's
world?
Age.
Age
is the
age.
only reason. Yeah.
But still, like, it's not like put it back up there for a second, Mike, because there's somebody like Dak Prescott's not young, and Matt Stafford's
Dak? I don't remember
better.
where they put Dak.
Dak's in the
Dak is the Godfather.
The Godfather.
Oh,
That's
you done
no
lost.
ridiculous.
That's in Jalen Hurts being over.
Trevor Lawrence is way too high.
Yes.
Dak's too high.
Purdy's too high.
Purdy's too high. I agree.
Listen, your boy from New York too high.
Jackson Dart?
That's way too high. He at least got to be.
Where is he? I don't even see him.
He's just a regular blockbuster.
I mean, he's on.
You'd have to give up 2 first-round picks to get Jackson Dart right now.
Man, Jackson Dart ain't even Baker.
Well,
Yeah, but he's on a rookie contract, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're factoring all these things in. I don't have a problem with where Jackson Dart is. I have a problem with
Bryce Young's not getting a first-round pick, I don't think.
No.
He's too high.
But that's what I'm saying. They need more
So
categories.
let's see. Let's start with the first row. Jordan Love should not be on that first row.
Yeah, Jordan Love is not untouchable.
I don't even think Drake May should be up there, honestly. But I mean,
So Jordan Love.
yeah, how's he in that first group?
Like I said, my issue with this wasn't the Browns. It was a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Shedeur, he did. He's played 7 games. He didn't play particularly well. Of course, you got to put him on the bottom now. Doesn't mean he couldn't get up higher, but yeah, I mean, the first group should just be Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, and Lamar to me.
Yeah.
And then I would have the second group. Who's the first guy in the second group?
Herbert.
I can't even see it.
Herbert.
Oh, Herbert. Yeah. To me, the second group would be May, Daniels, Caleb Williams, and that might be it for me. I'd put the 3 of those guys in the second group. And then I'd go group 3, Herbert, Dak, Purdy, Nix, Hurts,
You have Darnold in that. Darnold's on a much cheaper contract than the other
Darnold,
non-rookies.
Lawrence, and Goff. I'd have a big group 3. And then group 4 for me. No, I'm sorry. And I would still have Stafford in group 1 or 2, even though he's old. I would still do that. I'd put Baker in that third group also. And then in the fourth group, I'd have Cam Ward, Mendoza, Jackson Dart, C.J. Stroud, and Tyler Shuck.
Hey man, listen.
And then tier 5 for me. Sorry, I'm rambling, but tier 5 would be Bryce Young.
And everyone on the bottom.
And no, I'd have separate tiers.
Oh, you're going to add a 6th tier here.
Yeah.
There are 6 tiers there.
There are.
There are already 6 tiers. Yeah.
You need 7.
Add a 7th.
7. Yeah. I'd have Bryce Young, Daniel Jones. Who's that next to Daniel Jones?
Penix.
I'd have Penix.
McCarthy, Brissett, Shedeur, Will Howard, Fields, and Tua.
And then Penix in tier 6, and the rest of the guys in tier 7. Maybe Tua in tier 6.
He just got cut with the biggest dead cap hit ever. I'm not sure he's got much value. Jason, what would you do?
Well, I'm not doing that. I'm not going through and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long.
That was a long haul thing.
redoing all. I mean, I think they're relatively close. I think they probably needed a 7th category at the bottom. Like I said, I think they just gave up and
They're
threw
like,
everybody
yeah,
else.
just put everybody else
threw
there.
how you have Will Howard on there at all is a
He
joke.
hasn't even played.
Like you might.
Did
as
he
well
take any snaps last year?
No, he was hurt. I don't know.
Although Fernando Mendoza hasn't played either.
Yeah, I know.
But Fernando Mendoza at least going to be a first overall pick. Will Howard was like where was he drafted?
5th round, right?
Yeah,
6th
he's
round.
5th round also?
5th, 6th.
He was a 6th round.
Right, a 6th rounder who didn't play.
Yeah.
He did not play a single
Right.
snap.
Yeah, so he shouldn't even be up there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Trevor Lawrence is too high. I think Dak's too high. I mean, this is what you do in March to kill
it's
time.
fine. It's fine.
You do stuff like this.
I don't understand Jordan Love in that first group.
No,
Yeah,
I
I-
would agree that he needs to come down.
Yeah.
He's good. Don't get me wrong, but he's not untouchable. He's not.
No.
He doesn't have higher trade
By the way,
value.
you asked me Jordan Love or Jaden Daniels. I'm taking Jaden Daniels.
Oh, I would too.
Yeah, I would too.
I know it was
course.
a disaster last year for Jaden Daniels, but I'm
Yeah.
taking him over
Rookie
Jordan Love.
contract and
Well, that's why I think
Yeah.
the rookies, or the Caleb Williams, the Drake May, the Jaden, anyone on a rookie contract in that sense just has more. No,
I
I'm
would
not putting
take
Cam
I
Ward
would
or-
take Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Jaden Daniels all over Jordan Love for me. I'm not saying
I would too.
I might be in the minority there, but I would. Take
I'm not
over him.
sold on Caleb Williams yet.
I like Caleb Williams a lot.
Would you take him over Justin Herbert?
Who?
Those
Jordan
three.
Love?
No, the 3 young guys.
If I were starting a team today, yes, I'd take all 3 of them over Justin Herbert.
Herbert.
I think he's the most overrated
I can't
quarterback in the
figure
league.
because he's got all the skills and all the talent, and it just doesn't. It hasn't translated.
Nope.
At some point, you got to look at him.
Yeah.
We've changed out everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just some of these I get it. Some of these young dudes on here, I'm like, man, I don't even know why you even got these dudes on the tier list. Like
Yeah.
they should have just cut it at a certain list and said everybody else is unproven.
Yeah.
It was,
like
it was
Caleb
all
Williams?
32 quarterbacks.
I like Caleb Williams.
I think Caleb Williams is going to be fantastic.
I do too.
I think
I'm really high on him.
I think he has the propensity to be up and down.
Yeah,
based
a little
on
of that, but
based on now here's the thing. Remember we talked about this last year. I need to see the 2 years, right? You know what I'm saying? The thing is I need to see it. You did something this year. All right, now people know you.
yeah.
You doing your thing.
Yeah.
Now let's see what you do when everybody know what you're talking
I
about.
think Caleb's got a little Baker in him in terms of like He plays with like,
Yeah.
I don't give a, you know what, I'm going to do this.
When the chips
And it'll
are down,
bite him sometimes,
yeah.
but I think he's better. I think ultimately he's more talented than Baker, and he's going to be a better quarterback.
There was I think it was Chase Daniel who did it. Maybe it was Alex Smith on ESPN, but one of the former quarterbacks did a breakdown on some of the Caleb Williams throws that he can make on the run.
Yeah.
That defy
Crazy.
basically all levels of physics,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
makes him such a unique.
He's a freak.
Talent, yeah.
Yeah.
Talent doesn't always equal production and the
Sure.
best, but he does things that other quarterbacks simply can't do. Just real quick before we move on this.
Yeah.
Baker or C.J. Stroud, who do you think has more trade value? Trade value, not who's better. Who has more
C.J.
trade
Stroud.
value?
I agree.
C.J. Stroud.
He's younger.
Baker's got what, 1 year left
Yeah.
on his deal?
Baker is what he is.
Yes.
He's either the bottom, he's either the end of the good enough to win with quarterbacks or the top of the not good enough
He's
to win
in
with
that
quarterbacks.
12 to 17
Yeah.
range. Some
Whereas
years he's gonna
CJ at his best was better than that.
Yeah.
But it's
I
disappeared.
would take
I don't
CJ
know.
every day of the week.
Yes.
Over
Darnold
Baker.
or Jalen Hurts, who has higher trade value?
Jalen.
I would take Jalen
Yeah.
personally. I don't think either has a ton of trade value, but
I can't even.
Darnold is growing.
I can't believe I'm even question
we go
this.
Darnold.
I mean, at this point, I just don't trust Jalen Hurts as a authentic thrower of the football when it counts. Now, not to say that Sam Darnold is super duper cold, but Jalen Hurts has. I mean,
To me, Jalen Hurts is used as a scapegoat by the Eagles.
I
whenever-
really like Jalen Hurts.
I like Jalen Hurts
I
too.
do
He's
too.
not great, but he's really good.
Yeah.
And I think A.J. Brown's a bigger problem than Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown, shut up, man.
Yeah.
The team's good. I know they didn't have a good year last year.
I still
but
don't.
I don't want to hear you complaining.
I still can't figure out why he mad.
Because receivers are always pissed off about something.
Like, but you,
not
like,
all of them.
you
A lot of them.
You've been to this. You won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You've been to a couple of them.
Yeah.
You just got a new contract.
Yeah.
Why you mad, bro?
Yeah. Why are you throwing Hurts under the bus?
You got the bag.
He's a receiver.
What'd you say, Mike?
He's a receiver. This is what his whole mantra his entire career.
That's why I said there's so many.
He
Who
people
else
like
is so
this.
bad like that right now?
Stephon Diggs.
All right, there's a few guys, but not like every good receiver.
Throughout history, the receivers have been more
I
diva
hear you,
and
but
big mouth than any other position of
Chase
football.
and Jefferson are not that way.
Okay, great. There's a lot of others who are.
All right, last one. We'll move on
Yeah.
because I just think this is fun.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott or Trevor Lawrence, who has more trade value?
Trevor Lawrence. He's younger.
Trevor Lawrence, he's young.
Dak Prescott's better, but Trevor Lawrence is younger.
I'd rather have Dak. I'd take Dak
For
over Trevor
this
Lawrence.
year, I'd rather have Dak.
Yeah.
For the next 5 years, I'd rather have Lawrence
Yeah.
because he's
Purdy
significant.
or Lawrence?
Purdy or Lawrence? Lawrence.
Purdy. I'd take Purdy.
Lawrence.
Yeah. I still think Lawrence is more talented, so I would take him.
And let's end on a high note. Shedeur or Will Howard?
Come on, man.
I'll take Shedeur.
Look, but Jason, are you going to say it?
Jason?
are you going to say
I will
it?
take Shedeur over.
Yay!
Wait, no, get him on camera. Let's give him a one shot.
I will take Shedeur over Will Howard.
Can you put
Cut
your-
it.
Can you put your
Oh,
stuff
cut
real
it.
quick?
Post it.